Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Please, sir.
3. Lucifer!
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they get no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last warning, a courtesy call. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes me to.
Welcome to Defenders Live, Mojo 50 Radio. We happen to be on iHeartRadio and all the rest of it there, but if you do like to listen to us other times, I guess it's fine. We have the podcast. It's available for you on every social media and podcast forum that you want to look at it at. It's there on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spreaker, Google Play, all the rest of them. We're there, and if we aren't there, tell us and we'll make it there.
We will be there.
We will be there.
I feel like a song coming on. No,
I'll be there.
I was actually thinking of Friends. I'll be there for you.
Oh, thank you. When the rain
When the
starts to pour.
rain starts to pour.
Thank you.
Yeah, God help us all. Oh, we are all also on virtually all of the social medias in the same way. If you find us on one that you happen to be a part of and we're not on there, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll either get there or explain to you why we're not.
One of those.
One of those two. But also, you can find us at virtually all of the social medias at DOAE Show. I was going to do it again, but I'm not going to now. Make sure that you use the hashtag arm yourselves.
Okay.
Doesn't matter the spelling as long as there's an LVES at the end of that. It really doesn't matter because otherwise we can't see it. We're on the Twitters, on the Facebooks. We're on the YouTubes. Hello to everybody that's watching on the Mojo TV.
Yes.
Everybody watching on the watch parties on Facebook.
All the D Lives.
Lives. Everybody in the MeWe chat rooms.
On the YouTubes.
Yeah, just throwing it out there. If you are not on MeWe, I get most people like, oh, the social media this. MeWe is it. Go there and sign up. You're not going to be sorry.
Look, it's they keep on saying it's the Wild Wild West.
And it is.
And
it is.
That's also a Will Smith song, but
that's tomorrow's show. We'll do that.
we'll do that tomorrow. Okay. I'll make sure to put that in there for tomorrow's show.
Gotcha. I got that on the list right now, actually.
Good. You put that on the list right now.
Yeah, right now for tomorrow. But anyway, yes, again, we're at all the social medias at DOAE Show. Also, check our website out, which conveniently is doaeshow.com.
That's Delta.
Oscar.
Echo.
No. Alpha Echo.
See, I have to do this to him because if I don't, then he doesn't get it right himself. So
I get it rusty and I messed everything up. But yes, doaeshow.com is where you can find everything out that is us. We do need to update that just a teensy-weensy bit, but you can find a lot of our archives. You can also go check out the store, pick up some merch, the fine shirt that Steven's wearing for the Jackhole Nation if you're watching on the televisions. The shirt similar to I am, the Principles Over Parties. You can find that as well, plus mugs and bathing suits and leggings and phone covers and pretty much anything you could think of. By all means, check it out. doaeshow.com.
Speaking of which, Rocky with an I over there already bought the yoga pants for herself.
Yeah,
she will be much better model than Dylan.
Yeah. The funny part is she's smart enough not to let those pictures see the light of day.
I think she's going to. I really think she's going to.
But I don't know. Here's the thing: is no matter how good she may look in them, or even bad for that matter, it will never trump me being in them. Therefore, I was debating on the bell or not. Therefore, I don't know if it's worth. I don't know if it. Maybe it would be nice to have someone else out there besides me in them, but
well, I mean, technically, Erica bought a pair
Yeah, but
We haven't seen her in the pair.
this is-
I'm sure there's at least one jackhole out there that has seen her in the pair.
at least one.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Bob's your uncle.
Say no more.
Say no more.
Anyway, you know what else we're going to say no more of? This crap. We need to move on to a great show we got planned. Tons of stuff going on.
Fine.
First off,
Yeah.
New York.
Wait.
Now, all I do is say New York,
Uh-huh.
and there isn't a person within the sound of my voice that is not going to go, oh, good, something awesome is going to come out of New York.
Wait. I think you might have that slightly off.
Well, name one thing. Name one thing that when you say New York, that some people go, oh, and automatically assume something good's coming out.
Soda ban.
No, I'm pretty sure people are still pissed about that too.
Salt ban.
They might be a bit miffed.
Whole bunch of
The abortion. That's
a whole bunch of abortion laws, heavy taxes.
I think they're all pissed off about that one. Oh, sidebar real fast. This is just mentioning abortion. So I was driving through West Virginia over the last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bunch of billboards that actually read, and I wanted to take a picture, but I was driving, that said, very as big as it could be, abortions are still legal in West Virginia. Like there was billboards all up and down 64 promoting, or not 64, 77, 75. Anyway, all that stretch up there promoting how, yay, abortion's still big in West Virginia. So.
Okay.
God for that, because I know I was a little upset that, oh dear God, they might not have abortions, those poor mountain people. Sorry, that had nothing to do with this story, but it dawned on me. I felt I should share.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sure.
so New York.
Uh-huh.
New York approves driver's license. Says
Yeah. Okay.
documented immigrants.
Wait. Sorry. What?
New York
Mm-hmm.
approves driver's licenses for illegal immigrants.
Do you want to get striked?
No, I think Governor Cuomo might want to get a little good paddling here. The governor signed in the controversial bill into law after it was passed by the state Senate. Signed the law on Monday that allows undocumented immigrants to get driver's licenses, a major win for progressives and the immigrant rights advocates.
Yay! Wait. I'm sorry. Immigrants' rights?
Yeah. Which
No. Time out.
you have a problem with this. FYI, but this is I'm reading this article from the Huffington Post, so this is going to be very left leaning, and it's going to have a lot of, make your head explode kind of stuff in it. Just, I guess I should have thrown that trigger warning out first. But go ahead. Do you have a problem with the immigrant rights advocates
Yeah.
section? Okay.
Yeah.
And now, what would be your
Yeah.
Your
They're
prob-
not immigrants.
And I would also argue that, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I get this is a broad sweeping statement, but if you come into this country legally as an immigrant, be it any kind of a visa or green card or what have you, if you make it in here legally, you have rights that illegal immigrants do not. Just throwing that out there. So why you would need to have an advocate set up for immigrant rights, it's a little redundant.
Technically, they already have advocates.
It's called the court system.
Yeah, they actually have a lawyer that
Yeah.
makes sure going through the system, like that's assigned to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's an advocate.
Yeah, that also doesn't count any assistance and what have you that they end up dealing with through their consulate of their home country. Excuse me, just saying. I mean, anyway, so the state approved the bill earlier in the day at 33 to 29. Yay.
Yay.
It was so close, it was almost pointless. Oh, so legislation known as the Green Light Bill expands access to driver's licenses to an estimated 265,000 undocumented New Yorkers. Supporters say it will create safer roads, increase state revenue, and keep families together by preventing traffic violations from turning into deportations.
No. They should turn into deportations, and the entire family should go.
Well, I would argue. Well, okay, hold on. First off, how is it that by giving somebody a driver's license automatically makes the road safer? They don't. It doesn't change anything. Just because you have a driver's license doesn't mean you're not going to be drunk driving.
Right. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be driving without insurance. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be driving recklessly. It doesn't mean that you technically can't actually drive. Especially in New York.
Especially in New York. So that part is a joke in the beginning. And then turn around. The only thing that I agree with that there actually showed some truth in here was an increased state revenue.
Yes.
That's it. They are like, they will get money out of it, and so therefore they are all over that, like white on rice. Absolutely. The keeping families together by preventing traffic violations from turning into deportations. So you mean to tell me that because an undocumented immigrant gets pulled, let's say for speeding or at a checkpoint, and we're talking like a DUI direct point, and he has something on his person. I don't know. Let's say he's found with drugs in the car.
Yeah.
Or let's say that he was speeding or drunk driving or whatever.
Sure.
You mean to tell me that is going to keep him, they're going to go, oh, well, you have a driver's license, sir. You must be okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I'm wholeheartedly agreeing with you on that. It doesn't make any sense. But at the same point in time, I mean, at the same point in time, though, like, they don't care.
Well, no, they clearly don't, because again, if anyone with half a brain, and again, this is the Huffington Post, guys. This is the Huffington Post. If anybody takes a smidge of effort and just look at this and read this, we'll see that other than the increase in state revenue, it does nothing. There is no benefit to anyone, including the illegal.
Right.
The only person that gets any bit of a benefit is the state, and that's going to be temporary. I mean, but they're making it like, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Quote, this is a life-changing, and we are proud to stand on the right side of history because every New Yorker should have the opportunity to contribute to their economies and communities without fearing that they will be separated from their family because of a routine traffic stop.
I think Kevin Hutchison over on Facebook actually has this pinned. He says, undocumented immigrants, they need licenses so they can vote.
That is actually how that works out, isn't it? I just...
He has it pinned.
That's
Good
exactly
job.
what it is. That's definitely a...
That's true.
That's true. And what's sad is it's going to be in New York.
Yeah.
And then it's L.A., California is going to be the same way shortly.
Yep.
They're working on the same thing. Chicago's going to do the same. Eventually, this stuff is going to change unless you people, and I mean literally all of you within the sound of my voice, do your due diligence. Election time is coming. Your responsibility is to vote for people that actually represent you at the local level. By God, do your homework.
Yes, do your homework. Make sure you understand who there at the local level is actually representing you and your rights.
Because if you don't, you're going to get people in who are going to let things like this happen to your town.
All the time.
Your state. Then your state will become just as shocking as West Virginia is promoting abortion.
Which
like
is kind
West
of weird.
Virginia is one of the last places I ever thought when you would see something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just one or two billboards, by the way. It was the entire frickin' highway.
That's
the entire
great.
turnpike had them, like 6 or 8 at least.
Great.
It was so sad. Yeah. Guys, if you don't stop it at the local level, it's never going to get fixed at the top. And I'm just beat that drum until the...
And something else you could do, by the way, if you are looking for ways to help fund these people...
What's a good way you can do that?
And what people who are against this type of thing, you might want to think about changing over your cell phone service over to Patriot Mobile.
I hear they're a fantastic company that doesn't funnel out a whole bunch of money to corporations for like supporting of Planned Parenthood or...
They don't, actually. Not only do they not do that, but they funnel money towards people that support pro-life organizations and the Second Amendment and securing your borders and traditional family values and your freedom of speech. Plus, the packages that they have are pretty reasonably priced. You can go today. If you go check them out, it's patriotmobile.com/Mojo50. That's patriotmobile.com/Mojo50. Use the promo code Come On Over when you go there, and you can get a free month of service with every new line that you put in there. So promo code Come On Over, spelled the proper way.
Please.
MeWe's. And they will give you a free month of service per line that you add to your service. They have unlimited talk and text plans starting as low as $25 a month. Go check them out today, guys. It's amazing. Veteran-led organization, conservative cell phone company, the only one out there. PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50. PatriotMobile.com/Mojo50.
Sarah the Jackhole over on Twitter's at Dylan Lyles in yoga pants. Disturbing. You have no idea.
Sarah, why haven't you been on the MeWe's? It's
Now,
there.
No.
It's there.
It is there, but let's just keep it at a level of if you haven't seen it, you don't need to be tainted. Because I promise you that is a picture that once you see it, you cannot unsee it.
True.
It will literally haunt your nightmares.
Especially the one that Jen took.
Moving right along.
Moving along.
It's,
Oh, Francis O'Rourke.
Oh, Frankie.
Francis O'Rourke.
Is that what?
Robert Francis O'Rourke.
Oh, Dickie boy.
And his campaign is cratering, apparently.
What? You mean the white Obama is not doing so well?
The next great white hope is tanking, as it were.
That was actually pretty good.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thanks so much.
I
I only just came up with that, actually.
Hey, where are the white women at?
He is going back home.
Darn. Dang. Darn.
Dang it. See, Beto O'Rourke, or as we know him as Frankie.
Oh, Frankie.
Old Frankie has gone from phenom to front runner to flailing in 5 months.
Yeah, flopping feverishly.
Beto O'Rourke has gone from Gyarados to Magikarp. He reverted.
For those of you who play apparently Pokemon, that was a Pokemon reference.
Because it was a Pokemon reference, and I'm talking specifically to you jackholes out there that play Pokemon. I know who you are. I'm in the same group as you. I know you'll understand that reference. That's all that matters.
Are you? That is awesome.
That's all that matters. Anyway, and so he came home to this dusty bordered town last week to regroup. Oh, wait, hold on. I need this.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Hold on, I need this. All right, scene. Robert Francis O'Rourke has gone from phenom to front runner to flailing in 5 months, and so he came home to this dusty border town last week to regroup, to prepare for the next debate and try to recast himself as the underdog in the Democratic presidential race in which many have already counted him out. O'Rourke says that he doesn't plan to change his freewheeling style much, but that a top priority now is to raise money. Money needed to keep the building his campaign organizations so it will be ready to rebound. And I quote, "If you remember in Texas, it didn't happen overnight. It was a really long process that was against the odds. Very often, I was counted down and out." All right, I was done with the music.
Sorry, I'm working on getting the vomit back down into my. It's just. Does anybody I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. You realize, does anybody knows this in physics that when you bounce a ball, the rebound is never as high as the initial starting point. Just say it. I mean, you would have to have a hell of a momentum push behind, and that's like it's to be pushed, not fall. You
Right.
don't plummet and get back up to where you were, which is what you're doing, Frankie. Sorry. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see you doing this the entire time when you're talking about anything. It doesn't matter. You're just everywhere and moving your hands and stop it.
The flailing Frankie Valley.
He looks like a Muppet with a seizure.
You know,
Everywhere. Just all the time. Just stop, dude.
stop.
Nobody likes you. Go home. You can't even figure out who you are as an individual. Okay? Your name is Robert Francis O'Rourke.
You could be Bob. You could be Rob. You can be Bobby or Robbie or Robert.
You could be Francis. You could be Frank.
You could be Frank. Let's be frank about this.
But you could be Dick for all I care. It just
Doesn't
and you
matter.
may be. But the point is, there's all kinds of other names, and you pick Beto. Again, doesn't make sense. And because what you're from
No.
Texas.
Not only do you pick Beto, but you try to get in on the Hispanic caucus.
What I was getting ready to go into. I was going to slide into that, and it's one of those things that you're going to play this card. Dude, O'Rourke is not Spanish. It is
Nowhere
not
close.
Latin.
Nowhere close.
Not even close. You are a tall, white, pasty man.
Thin as well.
Remember, do you know what? When every time I hear of his name, I see him, I think of him. Do you ever remember back in the day, there was I think it was a Starburst commercial. There was these Koreans in Ireland, or Scott knows.
Yeah, I remember that.
Think of this every single time.
So good.
The only Korean Irishman.
Yes.
Like full-blood Korean, full-blood Irish.
because you happen to live there your entire life. Yes.
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 That's what I think of him. And it's just as absurd.
Mhm.
It's just as bad. And I it's one of those, oh, bless your heart, he's serious.
This is real to him. This is real life.
Yeah.
This is his life and his truth.
And he picked it. That's the bad part. Like, that just shows the actual shallowness of his imagination. Or the depths of his insanity, whichever way you want to look at that. That's a glass
Either
half
way.
empty, glass half full situation.
Either way you want to look at it. Look, it doesn't matter how you look at it. He's either shallow or he's deep. He's either deep in it or he's just at face value, and that's all he can be.
Or it's deep in his face.
It's under his skin.
Ew. Ew. You don't tell for. Daggone it. That's just not how I want to think of that. I'm going to tell you that right now. But anyway.
Look, if you're deep in it, and by that I mean maybe you have issues with, I don't know, fibromyalgia. Maybe you've got nerve issues. Maybe you have brain fog, or you have such terrible lack of sleep. Maybe it's something like you have pain that you haven't been able to get rid of for years. Well, Mojo 50 has a trusted company. They're trusting Dr. Ken Brown, and he's found a hemp-extracted special breed of industrial CBD oils.
A special breed?
Special breed.
That's true.
Of industrial hemp CBD oils. Incredibly low THC count, incredibly high CBD quality that is contained in this. You should check it out today. If nothing else, try it and see if it works for you. Mojo50.com/shop. Use the promo code DEFENDERS and you get $15 off the price. Mojo50.com/shop. Defenders is your promo code. We'll be right back right after this. Techru over on the MeWe posted the picture. Robert Francis O'Rourke is a serial cultural appropriator, not a furry.
Yeah, I saw that.
We agree.
Yeah, he's something.
Nothing's wrong with thin Pink Floyd. I'm just saying he's a very thin, pasty white male.
He is. In a past life, I would argue he was probably a telephone pole.
Flagpole, maybe.
A plunger stick.
That's how he got all of it up inside of his skin.
That's the... He's so full of it. Oh.
He's been plunging it for years.
No.
Oh. Diving deep, buddy. Diving deep. Kevin Hutchison over on the Facebook says, Beto should have had the That's True woman interpreting him.
I'd understand her better, I think.
That's true.
That's true.
Every time.
That's all you have to do. It's like, Mr. O'Rourke, how do you feel about, what is your plan on taxes?
That's true.
Do you have a plan on immigration?
That's true.
It makes sense.
What about the economy?
That's true.
I like this plan.
I do too. It sits better, I think.
And you can trust me.
That's true.
All right, we're coming back.
The mighty Mojo 50.
Welcome back. This is the Finish Live, Mojo 50 Radio on iHeartRadio.
Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
How y'all doing?
I don't know, but that intro kind of plays into the next story.
Yeah, it wasn't quite intentional, but
Yeah.
once it came out of my mouth, it was just there. It was.
Hopefully it doesn't come out of theirs.
That's nasty. So wrong. So you wanna?
Yeah.
You wanna?
Yeah.
Just wondered if
Yeah.
you, I would-
I'm gonna do the backstory. All right.
Damn it.
And you can do the lead in after it.
Okay. All right. Let's get this thing started because it's there's no easy way about it. So let's just go.
All right.
Oh.
Let's do this. Jonathan Jessica Yanov.
Is that like a boy named Sue?
No, see, Jonathan is a man. Actually, Jonathan is a ma'am.
Is he looking like a man?
Jonathan definitely looks like a man wearing a dress, but Jonathan is a ma'am. He is a male to female transgendered person who has not had any of the surgeries.
So he just wears the clothes.
Right. So he's a drag queen, technically.
He's a drag queen then. Okay.
Technically, he's a drag queen. But he's going around saying that he's transgendered. Well, here's the backstory of why he's even in the news in the first place. Came out like a week or so ago that this man, who happens to be in Canada, I believe, has been trying to forcibly, by law, make women wax his genitals.
Namely,
Because he considers himself a woman, even if he has male parts.
so he's and namely insisting on waxing the peaches.
Yes, specifically the technical term would be scrotum. I say that because I want to watch Dylan cringe every time I say scrotum.
It's just something about it. It just when I don't
Sounds
know.
weird.
Just keep moving on because if we're not, it's gonna be on this all night.
Anyway, moving on. So he's in the news because he's going to, all these places, and trying to legally force, and by legally I mean he's actually suing these women, trying to force them to wax his undercarriage.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
That happens all the time. Apparently.
And I found a dang sounder. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, I'm glad you did.
It's too late, but go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So,
So yeah, so this has been a number of ones. Like, what is it, 16 or 17?
There's like tons. There's tons.
It's a whole bunch that he's gone to, and he's gone to court and is trying to get them, like, not just, to, it's like some kind of a, oh, look at me, you need to give me what I want, but like literally he's actively trying to get them fired.
Yeah, he's trying to get these people fired for not waxing his junk.
Yes, which I'm sorry, but if you as a male force a woman to touch your junk,
by law,
last time I checked, that's called rape. That's called sexual assault.
Yeah, asking for a friend jackal sounds like sexual assault to me. State-sponsored sexual assault to me.
And this is what you get when you live in Canada.
Yes.
Just saying. That's. So anyway, that's where this delightful individual has started off. It had been in the news since, I want to say, since like Friday, and Steven and I were not originally going to touch it because we don't roll that way.
Exactly.
But
well,
unfortunately,
we kind of have to.
This man, and I'm going to call him a man because all it is a guy who dressed up in female clothing.
This is a man.
Yeah, this is a man.
It's a man.
It is man.
Yeah.
It's a man, baby.
It's a man. Okay. This feller, Jonathan, is actually now in the news for something a little bit worse than trying to get a bunch of what are they even called? Like, not like the waxing ladies. There's a specific name for them. It's not a beautician. It's beyond.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll move on.
These ladies, he's trying to ruin their livelihood.
Yes.
Instead of just that, he is now actually in a lot of hot water.
It's esthetician.
Thank you, esthetician. Basically is this man
Allegedly
has engaged in inappropriate sexual behaviors online with someone who was confirmed to be about the age of 14 or 15 years old.
Yes. There's proof.
Yes. No, in this particular article, and unfortunately, I haven't pieced through it well enough, but they actually have screenshots of the text messages, of the discussions, the conversations, everything. There's no suggestion. There's even a window here where you could play the voice messages that were sent back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty, actually very vomitous, actually, because this guy who wants to turn around and clearly has mental issues because he's claiming that he is a woman who then is not actually going through all the work to become at least a woman on the outside, is then complaining that, women are not waxing his female penis, and then is apparently trying to canoodle with underage children.
With his said penis.
Yes. All in female clothing. I don't know. Call me crazy, but that kind of screams out mental disorder if there ever is one.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is Yaniv is his last name. Which is, as we had put it, is a male to female transgender, and he's not. He's a cross-dresser right now. Was recently risen to infamy for the man who, as we said earlier, got 16 estheticians for declining to perform waxing services on his giblets.
Mm-hmm.
While suits are ongoing, a publication ban on Yaniv's name and content and history been lifted during recent hearings, allowing details of the disturbing past behaviors to come to light. 21-year-old Jessica Rumpel of Sammamish, Washington.
Sammamish.
Sammamish. Amalama Ding Dong. Sammamish, Washington State, has disclosed details post-millennial of her encounters with this man, Mr. Yaniv. Rumpel was just 14 years old at the time of the interaction, turning 15. At first, she said, I thought you were this guy that seems to have some kind of mental issues of some sort. You have no idea.
He does have mental issues of some sort.
I did. See, okay, this is her quote. I'm going to say this all again. I'm going to read this as the quote, okay? Quote, at first, I thought, this guy seems to have some kind of mental issues of some sort. I didn't think he was a predator at first, end quote. Newsflash, predators are mental.
Yeah, there are a bunch of guys with mental issues.
It's called sociopath. It's bad. It's really bad. God, you poor thing. Yaniv made contact with Rumpel through a social media site known as Ask.fm, which I would have thought was a radio station, but that's me.
Sure.
Where people, including those who are anonymous, can ask questions of users and receive answers in short form.
So it's a texting service.
Basically, that's weird. Never heard of it.
It's a website texting service, and probably a place where people go to catch predators.
Yeah, I guess. The victim states that Yaniv sent her a series of disturbing questions while anonymous before adding her to the private message application Kik. Kik is known to law enforcement for its notoriously poor protection of children and its routine usage by pedophiles to message each other and their victims. According to Rumpel, Yaniv allegedly presented himself as a young male in his late 20s and claims that he used pictures of himself when he was younger in their initial conversation. And I'm sorry, but I mean, unless he was doing pictures of him at 14, 15 years old.
Like that?
Yeah, that should have, like, anything beyond that, you should have went, oh, wait, you're too old, dude. Sorry, I'm just saying. Rumpel states that it was sympathy that caused her to continue contact with Yaniv initially. Quote, he liked to make himself be the victim. He actually told me he had, how do you say that one? Follicular, I don't know. He had depression. We'll say that. I have glasses on. I can't read that thing. Let's just say he was depressed and had mental issues.
Yes, he does.
We're gonna, I don't know. Pitying who she thought was an emotionally pained young man, Rumpel maintained some regular contact with Yaniv. Quote, I always wanted to be there for anyone who was always suffering, anyone who needed someone to listen to them, end quote, which is, I mean, it's a good thing. But the problem with that is, darling, you're on the internet.
Yeah.
You gotta reel that in just a teensy-weensy little bit. Quote, Yaniv always told me he used pads and wanted to go into the ladies' room. Yaniv asked me how to go into the ladies' room without being caught, and then how to be in the bathroom if there's a lot of women or girls.
Don't.
Again,
the point is don't.
I get if you want to, you feel like this person is playing victim. I get when you feel that there's something and you want to help. But helping is being that person to listen, not to sit and give advice on how
to sneak into the bathroom.
Yes.
To this point, Kevin Hutchison over on the Facebook says, how can you say that someone is mentally ill just because they want to shoot themselves up with hormones and chop off the genitals?
You're absolutely right. Far be it for me to judge.
Right. Who's to say? Apparently, also Brandon Morris tweeted out a post on Red State. Apparently, there's a story there that there's a tranny that's trying to arrange a no parents allowed topless party for kids as young as 12 years old up in Canada as well.
Yeah. Because there's nothing wrong with that. And the bad part about this is this is, and everybody used to laugh at it when we would say this kind of stuff.
Right.
When you start allowing for these kind of things to happen, it becomes a slippery slope. Eventually, you start allowing things like pedophilia to be run of the mill, to be okay. Because if
that was a joke for a while.
it was a joke.
next? Pedophilia? Yeah.
Ta-da! This article goes on. We're not going to spend much more time on it anyway, because this is it gets very graphic in some places. It's not.
So
The point of it is this guy who is accusing all of these ladies and trying to get them to basically to sexually assault all of these women and then get them fired for it because they won't be part of it, is now also having been discovered to be into pedophilia.
Yes.
They are a different breed of folk up in Canada.
Yes.
You know, I just...
You know, let's just switch gears completely here. Let's talk some Grillin' Sampler packs.
Ooh, because Fat Boy loves to eat.
That's right. And apparently this guy was also a fat boy.
Yeah, that's a...
Also love to eat. Just saying. Grilling Sampler packs over on Nostalgia Wild Rice. Go to mojowildrice.com. Use the promo code GRILL10 and you can still get their Grilling Sampler packs available for you to eat throughout the summer. The pack includes things like the salt-free garlic and herb seasoning for your meats and veggies and potatoes and all the rest. The Northwoods jerk seasonings, also great on your pork and salmon and dry rubs. The raspberry wine jellies, which are delicious as marinades, dipping sauces, or even just to put on some bread. Sweet heat from your jalapeno pepper jams. You got your maple sugars all up in there. And stout beer jellies to mix into your burgers, with some Gouda and some other things. Get some delicious flavors for sauces, marinades, etc., etc., etc. You shouldn't pass it up. If you have passed it up until now, check them out today. Go to mojowildrice.com, mojowildrice.com. Use the promo code GRILL10. Get your Grillin' Sampler pack for 10% off.
That's true.
mojowildrice.com, promo code GRILL10.
Okay.
So,
on Twitters.
Yeah.
On Twitters. Chai
Sure.
Boy and IA.
Mm-hmm.
They just used duct tape on him. It's not like he would have known the difference.
True.
That's possible.
It would have taken longer, too.
It probably would have been cheaper than the wax.
But it would have hurt more and taken longer.
Yeah, well, then maybe you would quit bitching to other people about doing it. And then Peekaboo the Snarky Jackal. Quote, female penis equals oxymoron of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Indeedly doodle.
Indeedly-doo!
Indeedly doodle. And speaking of that neighbor, friendly neighbor.
Great State Farm is there? Oh, not that far.
Not that type of neighbor.
Not that type of neighbor.
No. Howdy ho there, neighbor.
Oh, there, neighbor.
Apparently.
You mean? Wait a minute. Don't you mean?
Allegedly.
No. Apparently.
We don't have that sounder. We have.
Allegedly.
Well, it's not allegedly. It is apparent.
Okay.
So apparently, there's actually a huge push in the millennial and Gen X group of young ladies that desire to go into being nuns. They desire the constraints and the rules and the need and desire for structure with unabashed, complete truths that cannot be changed by your truth and your truth and your truth.
So what you're saying is they're looking for something that's consistent.
Yes.
And solid.
They're looking for traditional, consistent stability.
Isn't that weird? That's weird. That's not weird. That's actually a good thing. It's about, and eventually we knew this kind of stuff. Eventually it would flow back that way. We got that, but it's amazing that people look. And I told Steven this when we first read this article. Look, all this is proof that when you're allowed to just kind of go with the breeze wherever it goes, without having any design or structure or plan or anything, after a while things get boring, things get crappy, things spiral out of control. Look at underage drinking. When you were a kid, to have a beer under the age, to be able to get away with doing it was so cool. It was so fun, because it was the thrill of, I'm breaking a rule. And once you hit 21, it's no big deal anymore. That's what this is. Yep. We've had a generation go through where they're allowed to virtually do anything they want to do, which includes apparently choosing their gender. Yes. It's allowing themselves to do and be and have whatever their little heart desires. And because they have that much freedom to mentally pretend, and it's so different from the next person to them, that they're going back to, okay, we want the constraints, we want the limits, we want the line. And then on occasion, cross it.
Right.
That's what they want.
That's really what they want. But in this case, they actually want full structure. They don't want to be able to cross it. They want to have rules and regulations where if they do cross a line, there is an actual punishment.
They want consequences.
They want consequences to their actions. These people want structure beyond what they normally see in their day-to-day life. And it's come to play because there is so little traditional structure anymore, especially in people's lives. Everything is me, 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 me. Everything is immediate. Everything is right out in the open. Massive technology, all up in your face at all times on your smartphone. You can order something and it'll be here within, if not a few hours, the next day. The whole deal.
Yep.
These guys are looking for something stable.
Yeah, this is playing an open world video game with all of the cheat codes, God mode.
Right. That's what our life is right now, basically.
Literally, you can pick up anything, you can throw anything, you can run as fast as you want, you can be instantaneous. After a while, it gets boring. And this is what happens. And eventually you go back to, I want to play the game. I want to do it in hard mode and work your way up. And it's, again, I know these analogies are very broad and simplistic, but it's the truth. People deep down want structure. They want order. They want consistency. And when you don't get it, eventually they start looking for it in place. And again,
when you don't get it, so when you don't have consistency, what you have is our last story.
Yes.
What you have is an outpouring of things that happened in our last story, continually, constantly, unabashedly happening in our society.
Yes. Where you can claim to be a woman, can then try to force women to touch your junk in a way that they don't feel comfortable doing, try to get them fired, try to get them sued and arrested for sexual, basically for discrimination, when what you're trying to do is cause sexual assault. And then turn around, and when that's not good enough for you, you start branching out into children who are susceptible and who are gullible and naive and who want to help people. And you're going to turn around and take that advantage of that innocence and for your own sick pleasures. And you're right. You start creeping further and further into the uttermost darkness of a human soul, and that's not where anybody really truly wants to go.
Exactly. But and along those same lines, though, what we're running into now, especially with the generations that we have, because everything's at our fingertips, because we have literally anything we want, as long as we have the money to afford it or the credit to afford it, right there. It's the same reason why there's so many more people that are doing things like that are actually meditating. They're trying to pull quiet spaces. You have the millennials and Gen X people. What they're trying to do is they're trying to find places like APR Coffee that makes great freaking coffee that isn't some corporate ashamedly terrible nastiness.
Oh, and it is too.
Because this is amazing.
Yes.
APR Coffee is amazing. They're looking for stuff like this. They're looking for the small batch, connoisseur stuff, the stuff that actually makes them feel like they just dug this out of the ground. They want real. They want actual reality.
In a world that is full of
fake, false,
fake.
nasty. You have an entire generation that is looking for reality. And in that same idea, when they're looking for reality, what do they turn to? They turn to religion. They turn to the faith. And in this case, they're not just turning to faith, they're turning to some of the most strict
mm-hmm.
and consequential versions of a faith, of a very specific faith that says, okay, it's no marriage, no sex, none of this crap. You have to live with a bunch of other women for the rest of your life and serve God, and you are married to Him. That sort of thing.
They don't play around. Like there's no room for error. You're either in or you're out, and again, good, kudos to these ladies who are running into this. Obviously each one of them is doing it for their own reason, but
sure.
I'm sure there's also a level of protection there as well.
Yes, there is a ton of it.
Again, going back to our previous story, nobody is safe.
No.
At all.
No.
And if you're going to turn around and as a woman, be susceptible to something like that, what better place, what safer place to be than the nunnery?
Right. And you also have, so not only that, but that there's this entire drive of the big mega churches, right?
Yeah.
But if you noticed, a lot of those mega churches, they aren't getting the same sort of push that they were like 3-4 years ago because people have found out that they're fake.
Well, they found out that they're fake. They found out that they see this big church and they think that everybody is I don't know, for some weird reason, they think that everybody is on this wavelength and that everybody gets along.
Right.
What they grasp is when you start putting more and more and more people together, and God bless them, even Christians, you're going to have the people who talk behind somebody's back. Mm-hmm. You're going to have stuff going, and the more people you have, the higher those chances go. And people don't realize that. They think, oh, this is a big church, it must be doing something right. And no, actually, you find out that most of the bigger churches, the mega churches, tend to end up actually having more skeletons in the closet than anybody you can actually imagine.
Because they have more people.
Because they can have more people they can hide it under.
Right, they can hide it. And it's rare to find a church that'll actually air out its skeletons.
Yes, absolutely.
And say, look, here's what's happened. Here's why it happened. And here's what we're doing about it.
Exactly. I like to think our church is one of them.
Actually, they do that a lot.
They do it a lot. Like we've no names and no junk going out, but we have actually, at the beginning of the year, lost 2 pastors. One of them who was taught at seminary, had a
huge evangelist,
amazing career. Like if we wrote books, was huge, well known in the Christian, and he was removed,
had to be let go
completely from seminary, from his position at church as a pastor, everything. He now, I believe, last I heard, works at AutoZone.
Yeah, full church discipline.
Yes, it happens. But, when you get a bigger church, you start looking, those things happen more frequently because there's more people.
Right, and when there's more people, there's more chances of people being stupid, more problems going on. Anyway.
More people, more problem.
Yeah. We had more stories, but we got a little bit long-winded.
Yeah. What? Us? Long-winded?
What? Huh? What? Well, anyway, speaking of long-winded, we do have bell counts for today. Let's check them out.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Leprechaun, and here with your bell count grade for the day. Today we had 5 missed innuendo bells, 16 actual bells, 4 rim shots, and 1 AOC. giving us a great C for the day. Peace out. Good night, y'all.
There we go. We got a C for the day. We need to do better, guys. That's just how it's going to be. Look, before we go to therichsolution.com, therichsolution.com. Check them out. If you have any sort of health issues, over at therichsolution.com, they have something that will help fix your problems. Check them out today, therichsolution.com. Let them know that we here over at Mojo sent you. For Dylan, this is Steven, Defenders Live. We'll see you tomorrow.